Okay, so I'm working on a time machine. Just a little tip about screws and getting them out if you struggle. There might be other ways, but this is just my ways of dealing with it. See, these screws here should actually be Allen keys as far as I know. The worst you can use is a star or a flat for something like this, because if you want to make it really tight, you might start stripping the screw. But the reason why these are in there is because obviously someone didn't have any other screws and this is all they had. So here's a star, okay, and when I try and get this thing out, you see what happens. I'm just basically, you can see it's not nicely. There may be a bigger size screwdriver might work, but if it's really tight, you're going to struggle. So what you can do at first is use a flathead that's the same size as that groove. So here I've got one, it's broken, but that it counts in my favor because it can fit right in there. And you see, if I press tightly, there we go. But if you're having issues, you can also use this, okay, vice grip, if there's any room for it. But if it's really stubborn and really tight, the real best way is using a flat, what I've used on this one here, because if I put the flat in, you see what happens. I'm not getting, you see, I'm immediately like stripping. So you see there's not much groove. I can, if I place hardly, I can probably get it loose. I just made it tight to show you what happened. So what I ended up doing was I put the screwdriver like this because the screw needs to basically go that way, okay. Clockwise is this way, so anti-clockwise it needs to turn. So you put your screwdriver here on the edge, you see there, on the edge, and you hit it with a hammer. Now if you hit it with a hammer, it will turn if it's very tight. So you can do the same on this one if you can't get it loose. I would, if this one was very stubborn and I couldn't use a vice grip and it was the same and there was no grip, I would probably just saw a groove in it if it was very, very hard, and just use this technique where you use the hammer in the corner of the thing and hit it, and that's how I got this one out. Using the flathead like this, I tried my best, but as you can see, it's basically, there isn't much grip there, so I just hit it on that corner down and boom, came out. Hope that helps for someone who's having issues with getting out screws. So I'm going to replace this with the correct ones, Allen keys, Allen key bit screws, because those are just much better and more safer.